Yes, we're ready to go. I'm going to join the party. Best of luck to you all. Okay, we are in. The stream is about going. We're going to wait here. What we're going to do, champ, is we're going to use this as a bit of a testing ground. This one, just to through qualifying, just to get the flow of everything, for argument's sake. We shall see how we do. But can you hear me, champ? Yeah. Have I got that on right? Yeah, I've got it on. Champ's in game chat. Champ, do you want to what is it? Jump into the private party chat, buddy, when you can, champ. Should be joined by champ any second, so should be good fun. We apologise for the bit of lateness of this, a couple of minutes running overdue. And that sounds like my league man for the night. It does sound like champ's come and joined us. Slight knock in there. Yeah, champ is with us, I believe. So let's just inspect it. Go to the monitor. Got a trackside here. So it's got a car out. I believe that's probably Leo. Leo's going to be the first guy out tonight. Again, thank you for joining us on the channel. We're about to get underway here on the infamous Watkins Glen. We have Lecca joining us in the box. Good evening, Lecca. We're just,
gentlemen.
Just having a little tryout here. We're just going to see him bounce off one another. Just trying to get a few of the few more facts up, as it were, with Watkins Glen.
Yeah, no worries. I know Ken's put some information down. Nothing I have, so there's some bit of driver info for you there that's GT3 related.
I've got a couple. I've got it with the standings and whatnot. Yeah, with the qualifying, I think what we're going to look out for tonight is obviously the lads towards the top of the leaderboard. That'll be Jasco VR, Dafinio, Leo, Scotty, and Andy.
But Dafinio's put a post in that driver info, you know, like about what he feels like about Watkins Glen and shit like that. So that might be useful.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a little bit of it down, like off Dafinio. I know he's really on it with the Lamborghini. Yeah, he's. I mean,
if you look at the driver info on Discord, if you look at that channel, that post is just in there. It's like one of the last posts that is in there.
Yeah, our check driver from Olomouc is currently 351 points in the standing. That is P2, a whole 86 points ahead of Andy, so he's got a real lot of points ahead of Andy there, so he's quite comfortably in the third position.
Well, Andy's going to drop points today, isn't he? He's unfortunately otherwise indisposed.
No, he is. He's going to drop a lot of points today, I believe, and it's going to be Scotty that's going to be able to catch on to the back of him. But there are also people like Disco.
I'm assuming it's like 4th or 5th, is it?
Yeah, it certainly is. They're fighting over for the longest time.
Well, there's 20 points at least, isn't it? At least per race, that's 40 points.
We're fighting. There were a couple of points between each other. There's a bad outing at Laguna, also a bad outing last time out at the Circuit of Americas. It's seen that points deficit really increase as we head to round 9 of the Watkins Glen International. Just in the state of New York, this 3.4 version mile long circuit is going to be tackled tonight by the top pros of the GT3 category. We've got a packed stadium also of 38,000 people in there to watch the pros take on this track at the minute. Still no time set. First little pro race was held in 1957. They also held the Grand Prix at one point here, so we're just watching Leo come through the outer loop. He'll be coming into the chute now. It's a difficult one. Elevation
it is. Absolute always catches drivers out. If you don't get that right, you get a lot of understeer in these GT3 cars.
The curb can be lethal on the exit of that. It depends how you've got the car set up. Into the turn now. Let's have a quick on board through the cockpit view, I think. Be fascinating to see the line. Up onto... where are we there? We're up on through the heel, are we? Okay, so we're coming into the last sector here. Also a difficult one. You like to put 4 wheels on the outside here. It can complete the cancellation out, and that is that lap done. I know for a fact it is gone, that lap. So he will have to wind up and go again. On board with Jasco, our Bosnian driver, currently our GT3 points leader for 463 points. He has a 44 point lead ahead of Leo. So tonight, what's what we're going to keep on top of? Can Jasco still maintain and add on to the points coming into the last round of the season? We're running out of rounds, ladies and gentlemen. We really are. that, and there were only 44 points in it, so Leo really needs to get in front of Jasko tonight, one way or the other. He needs a win to try and close that point order down. Jasko's really not put a foot wrong.
I've had a shout from the engineers, mate. I'm going to make my way to the grid if that's alright with you.
Well, best of luck, Lecky, and thank you for joining us in the box. It's been a pleasure having you. Hopefully we catch up with you a little later on. Best of luck to you tonight on your outing with the GT3.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for that. Cheers, champ.
We are also encouraging to like and sub to the YouTube channel. It helps us tremendously at Watkins Racing. There has been a time being posted up there, and it is Leo with a 42.8. Good time at the minute, a full second ahead of Bruce, who's been really impressive in the M6 as of late. Bruce, our British driver from Chester, doing a good job at the minute. He's currently P10 in the championships. It's not really his forte as a pro LMP driver, and currently P10 on 153 points. He can really extend his well, bring himself up the standings tonight, as a lot of his competition are actually not racing. They're for one other reason, and life gets in the way, and we totally understand that, but this is a prime opportunity with only this round and the last round to come. I believe it's Hockenheimring at GP, and you join us next Sunday for that one. That should be a cracker. At the minute, we're watching Bruce. Again, it's very impressive. They say the BMW M6, that it's not the easiest cars to bring around. And then we're on to Disco, our Scottish driver from Edinburgh, who has impressed very much in the red AMG there. Got him mixed up for the longest time with an SLS. I believe Bruce was driving it earlier on in the season. Slight touch of the wall there, coming up through the heel section. Currently, put the timings on the map of the speedo, so we can actually get a little inculcation if these lads are on an outlap, and that's Lecky joining the lobby. So we're full grid at the minute, boys. Full grid. Leo into the pit. Jasko across the line. 4 tenths behind. Over the line, and it was an improvement there of nearly 4 tenths. Disco on a charge. Hey, back to Nicky in the Audi R8. Nicky is home of racing, is Silverstone. It's got a great cracker of a job there. Lifetime dream job that one is. A little wide on the exit there, but perfectly fine. Well within the laws of the game. He comes across the line on 144. Doesn't improve 5 tenths down, so he'll wind up and he will go again. On to Uber, the Flying Dutchman. Currently P8 in the championships on 186 points. Only 17 points behind Disco, so Uber and Disco. Another one to look out for tonight. All these points, they're separated by the minuscule of amounts. See how this one goes. What's your thoughts for tonight, champ? Who are you looking forward to seeing? Who are you predictions tonight? Who are on a good lap? Getting a bit of mic interference there, champ. Just a bit of clicking. We're not getting, there's so much audio through. Hopefully champ can get on top of that and we can get his predictions as we watch Uber come through the end of the heel. To keep it out the wall, he does. Fantastic job. So at the minute, champ having a bit of technical difficulties with the audio, but I'm sure we'll get him back with 7.5 minutes to go. Again, welcome to on the YouTube channel to round 9 of the GT3 Championships here at Watkins, Glen, International, New York. 3.4 miles. Uber comes across the line. Does he improve? Down on his best, and Jasko maybe benefiting with a little bit of a draft there, but he's 4 tenths up. I believe it's about 4 tenths down there as well. Thank you for the comments on the YouTube channel. Keep them rolling, keep them coming. We'll get back to as many as possible. Back down the orders, we'll just check out Leo as he is towards the end of the lap. We'll see if he is actually on an outlap as I do that. Sorry guys. Out the camera angle there. Put the speedo up. We'll start seeing a few more of the split timings. Across the line, does he improve? Not this time round, so he'll wind up and go again. We got Uniclark on the ball. One of the staple drivers of the women's racing community. Always there or thereabouts is a man from Swindon. Currently 6th in the championships, 231 points. Last time I checked, he was up to date and winning the championship in the touring car league that is run on a Tuesday. Of course, come and join the Discord channel we've got going here. We're also on the major platforms and social media, all free to join. So is the Discord. We've got leagues running out throughout the week. Some fantastic league coordinators with that. We have the touring card league. Unicart coming across the line on the 144. Does improve? Not that time around. We have the touring car league on a Tuesday. Scotty looks like he's already been off track with that one. His front end in the far 8 looking a little bit worse for wear, but he has Uber in front of him, the Flying Dutchman, and the Audi R8 in the background, which may be Nicky, I'm not sure. No, it's not. We do have another Audi on track. On board there, we missed something. Scotty through. Let's check out who that Audi is. Grey Warrior in the beautiful McLaren there. Ken in the NSX. Still trying to work out who it was in the Audi, but for now, Jasko with a comfortable lead. Very close between Defino and Leo there. Leo, of course, needs to try and get in front of Jasko VR if he wishes to close that gap down. Look at this, the Scotty has some company on this flyer. The boys from the spacing. The Audi just about keeping it out the wall again. I'd love to know who that actually is. Like, maybe actually Lecky, you know? No, sorry about the camera changes. We will find out who that car is. Is it Traven? Traven, there we go. Sorry, newcomer to the league. He's been exceptional so far as Traven. He's really performed as they're coming down into the 90. 251 feet from start to finish there as you come out the exit corner to come up the start finish into the 90s. So on board with Uber, let's go cockpit cam as they come out of the 90s and now into the S's, a tricky technical part of the track. And we'll stay with our Flying Dutchman for the time being as he executes the S's. Very nicely done. Coming up the back straight now into the inner loop, but for us known as the bus stop. That's a tricky one. Let's see what it's like under braking here. Pretty good, pretty clean. We'll go track side as he comes through. The car is sideways. Coming out the outer loop now. It's a really steep downcline right-hander. The car pushes out. Careful not to go onto the rumble strip on the outside. It can be a detriment to you as they're coming through the chute now into the run into the toe. Currently Jasko's sitting out in front. Leo is out on track though. Then look a little further back, Defino only a 10th behind Leo, Brazilian driver there doing a cracking job. Bruce impressing again with a 143. Disco not too far behind, however in the pit at the minute then we're back to Uni Clark. See what he's up to as he exits the outer loop into the chute. Usually goes pretty well, just a little wide through there, a little bit of traffic building up. Let's go on board with our man from Swindon now. Again, thank you for joining us on the YouTube channel. Come and check out the Watkins racing community, all free for you to get involved with. Uni Clark on a hell of a lap at the minute, currently 4 tenths up, nearly half a second up here. Can he keep it clean? That is the question, as he comes into the heel. He has Jasko in front of him, it looks like he's had a little correction there as he comes up to the exit of the heel. Scotty, the Rain Man, just behind him, but can Unicat keep it together? Where will that put him? Let's have a look at the timings. It won't seem to improve. He is currently about 8 tenths down, Jasko. So well down, comes out the way, good experience there. Can Uniclark cut himself up the order? We have 3 minutes to go here at the qualifying session of our first race of the night. Across the line, a 1:44.7. 1:44.4. Still a bit of a gap to Disco there, so the definitely some setup changes there. So we're going on board with Nicky, who again has impressed, much like Tavern and Amber Chewy. I also, as you say that, I'm going back there. So Tavern, one of the newcomers there, has been really, really good. It's great to have the new guys on board. Just the level of driving is really impressed, to be fair. Ken in a top 10 position, that is good to see. Our American driver from Pennsylvania, the American fans will be loving that. Keep your eyes and ears open, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear it when Pennsylvania comes down the start finish. That crowd is on their feet. A little further back, Scotty now. 22 litres of fuel on board, quite a heavy load, but maybe opting to try and keep the car a little more stable. Currently on a 1:45.1, exiting the chute. Good line through there. Go on board with him. Oh, Grey Warrior has gone round. He's currently in P13.2, and we're on board with Fury, who was missing a windscreen. Currently 3 tenths up on his best. It won't seem improve. Lecky, our new driver for tonight, trying his dipping his toes, if you will, into the GT3 league. A lot of the main guys are in the pit. Jasko is still out, so on board with Lecky. Batting as a fire into the Pro League of the GT3. Of course, Lecky, the league host of the Touring Car League, held on a Tuesday. 2 tiers of that league. It's like Lecky's coming out the way. just figuring out the brakes, one of the two, and it looks like he has a Ferrari coming up there. Oh my bad, that was an Audi. On board with Fury, can he improve on a 147 flat, coming across the line? He does improve by over 4 tenths. It's not seen him move up too far though. Still fantastic to watch, the new guys really going at it and really giving it a go with the well-established racers here. Hopefully Champ has got the mic sorted out there. Thank you for your comments, Radio Sound, Disco Madiscum first on the YouTube channel, we really appreciate it. Let's go on board with Jasko, see what he is up to at the minute. Just exiting the 90s into the S's. He again has been the standout driver this season. Ultra competitive no matter where we've gone this season. He's been there or on the front. Super difficult to keep with him. He's had a few close races the last time round. People like Disco and whatnot have given him an actual race there. Certain elements falling into play of fuel loads and stuff like that, but yeah, Jasko's had the race sorted out and the strategy to go with it. Back with our man from Swindon, also exiting through the S's now. Sounds like there's a bit of traffic there with him. Getting a tow just up the straight there. I think that is Kendo. It is indeed. So we're going board with our American driver from Pennsylvania. We're going to have to go on the roof, ladies and gentlemen. Through the bus stop. He's going to be hearing that AMG up his trumpet. And we'll have a go on board with you, Clark, and see what it's like in the downforce, well, in the draft of that thing. Lose a lot of grip. Fun to watch what the drivers go for. It's usually the harder compound. We will be starting early on the day. Again, a little shout out to the guys on YouTube that work out our format. We'll be going straight away for a 20-minute sprint race. No pit stop involved, just straight sprint to the finish. Then what we'll do is we have our feature race. It will be double the distance of race 1. Also, it will be reverse grid. So all the fast guys from the sprint will be at the back of the grid for the feature. So we'll get to see all them make a charge through the field. Some fantastic racing. Still on board with Uniclark here. Again, Uniclark 6 in standings at the moment, only 25 points behind Scotty, who's linked for the minute. Uniclark currently P6 and Scotty just outside of a top 10 position, but in the pits at the minute. Uniclark, will he get a draft off that NSX in front? It's good to see the NSX on track. Ken P6, P10 does improve, he's at P9, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like Jasko's going to take home fastest lap, and of course that is the extra point there. That's all Leo needs to hear, is Jasko extending that point lead just a little bit further.
Yeah, I think it would be very key for Leo to try and get past Jasko off the line, because from that qualifying shootout, looks like Leo may not have as much pace as Jasko, and if he can get in front, he may have a chance to defend for his life, to sneak in a win.
Absolutely. No, I think you're right. We did see Leo make a good start last time out, and if you could just see there, champ, the elevation change here at Watkins Glen International is around 115 feet apart. Look at this, from the back of the grid, you cannot see P1. There's a slight brow of the hill, and you really get a feel for it while you're in Ubar's position. Let's go and have a look what Leo's looking at. There, you could just about make out the apex there, but it is going to be Leo on the outside of turn 1 into the 90s. We're going to have a quick blast here from the exits of the last turn. Is at 2,150 feet between the last turn and this one here. It's a slightly reduced run through turn 1, but we will go on board with these guys and see what's happening. Obviously, last time out, Leo did get a jump, but we had to restart the lobby, so we'll see how this one goes with 50 seconds to go. Obviously, the cameras are not the best off the start, but we will try and give you the best possible. There we go, as the cameraman actually comes with us there. Any predictions before we get going, champ? It looks like Jasko's going to be strong in this one. Can anybody stop him?
The only real person I think that would maybe have a chance of stopping him is Leo, as I mentioned before. Anyone else, I don't think they're going to have any sort of pace to keep up with Jasko. He's just that far ahead of him.
I think, yeah, with Duffinio, he's got bags of pace in that Lambo. He's just a bit unpredictable sometimes. It's so trigger end happy is that rear of the Lambo. You just can't count him in for it. You always know there may be that mistake here and there from him. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round 9, Watkins Glen, GT3, Sunday night. 38,000 people are about to go screaming as the Pro GT3 boys come off the line. We're about to get racing here at the Rubbins Racing GT3 League Sunday night. We are green, and we are away, and it looks like Jasko got slightly better start there. He did indeed. It does look like Definio and Disco side by side too. Definio's going to have the inside. I think Definio's going to try and have a go at Leo here. We're going to have to go on board. Leo pushed a little bit wide there on board with Uniclar because we're coming up towards the S's now. Just about sorting themselves out. Leo's going to have to try and tuck himself in. Disco is all over the back end of him though. These boys are going to have to try and take it easy through this section of track. Is Uniclar going to get the run? I think he had to come out of it a little bit. Jasko leads. We're going to have to go have a look back here because they're all over the place. These boys coming into the bus stop. They cannot go too wide into here, so we're having a look on board with Kembo's. Traffic gets Zubat's got sideways. Uniclar's got sideways. Uniclar's got sideways. There's a whole bunch of cars there that have managed to come through. Uniclar just about going again.
Spinning all the way off.
I think Leo got caught. Lecky got caught up there with them too.
Thierry Traum, I think, has been caught up in something as well. They should be very far down.
They are super far down. I do want to take a quick look back at what's going on with Leo. These boys already into the toe section of the track, so already pulling out a considerable lead.
Top of somebody,
yeah.
NRP and Kenbo.
There's something going on back there, definitely. It looks like Uniclar's got the worst end of it. Slightly back there, back with the racing though. Disco, Leo, Definio, Jasko seem to be the class of the field at the minute. Broken away a little bit. They have 3 seconds on Bruce. Bruce fully capable of getting onto the back end of them though. Back up with Leo. So yeah, it's the Lamborghinis that are really showing out now. And Definio pushes very wide. That will be a slowdown there for our Czech driver from Olomouc. Jasko now pulling out of the draft, definitely. So all these boys under fire. We'll go back and have a look what Nicky's up to. Nicky chasing down Kembo. Kembo's going to get disqualified surely from the race, and he has. I think Kembo's gone backwards into the pit and he's been disqualified from the race. We saw it coming in slow motion. There was nothing our American driver could do from Pennsylvania there. Look at this. Grey Warrior and Scotty all in Pro Scott Simity. Grey Warrior is going to stick it down the inside. Scotty does see him though. Fantastic driving. And they do have an AMG on the case too. You could just about air him out 2 seconds there. So it looks like Grey Warrior understeering through the S's now. We're on board with the Rain Man himself as they're coming up through the back straight into the bus stop. Fantastic racing so far. As we're watching Lecky just about in front. Lecky in P7. I'm not a fan of the GT3 classes. Look at how late Grey Warrior was on the brakes there. Does he get it stopped? He doesn't. He's going to cut through the bus stop and Scotty's going to go a bit wide too. Back with our race leaders there. Jasko definitely not pulling away, which is good to see. Go on board with our Czech driver from Olomouc, see if we can make any inroads to Jasko VR through the toe now, up the boot, into the heel, the slight right-hander down here. Likes to catch a lot of guys out. Looks like Jasko's got a good setup here for when he gets on to the straights. Or further battles. Yeah, it looks like Disco just about losing sight with Leo in front. Not too far off though, so that's good to see them all relatively close. And again, Disco struggling with the exit of the heel there. He keeps clipping the back end of the wall. It's slowing him down considerably, and these two drifting out of the back end of the heel onto the start-finish now. Definio as close as you like.
And I think Definio scraped the wall a bit.
He did. He's lost some speed there, definitely. But look how quick he gets back onto it momentum-wise. We'll have a quick look back at what Grey Warrior's up to. Grey Warrior says he's close. It must be the Constantino effect, but Uber and Scotty very close to one another too, and Grey Warrior as close as you'd like to be through that section of track. Leo now hassling the back end of Definio. Again, thank you for the comments on the YouTube channel. It means a lot to us all. We'll try and get through as many as we possibly can. As we're watching these pro guys tonight, Leo obviously P2 in the championship, he has Definio in front of him, and then the championship leader is Jasko VR, so Leo definitely needs to try and get himself past Definio, but 15 minutes to go, only 5 minutes down, plenty of racing left to go. It looks like Bruce is trying to join in the action too. He's not been dropped by him by any means. A quick look back at what Ubar's up to. He's managed to get going again. And he has the Rain Man himself, the Swansea guy. Oh, Uber pushes way out wide. Where's Grey Warrior and all this? Too far back to make any inroads. Travelling even further back there. Looks like Uniclark is got going again, and this is unusual to see now. Go on board with Uniclark, he must make inroads here. British driver from Swindon is currently P6 in the championship, so he's going to want to try and get himself back up the order. It looks like Leon Defino very close to number 2. But yeah, Uniclar's definitely going to have to try and start making some moves soon. Looked like he was a bit of a victim of some of the touching through here. Is Uniclar going to have to be going around the outside? Fury does defend the corner, but Uniclar onto the brakes. And Fury cuts his nose off a little bit there. Needs to be careful through that section of track. And it looks like Travin and Grey Warrior are pretty close too. I am keeping a look at one of the splits in front, ladies and gentlemen. Anything under 6 tenths, and we'll go and check that out. It looks like Leon Defino getting very close into the 90s corner. It's as you were through that section of track. Now check out what Bruce is doing. He's caught up with Disco. He's definitely in the draft of the AMG in front. Bruce, our British driver from Chester. It's good to see him out on track. Again, these pro LMP1 drivers out proving their worth in the different category cars. It does look, for all intensive purposes, like he is catching that AMG up. Back with Leo now, through the bus stop. Quick roof shot. You can physically see now that Jasko's pulled out nearly a 2-second lead, but very much within the sights of these boys, so nothing earned, nothing lost at this precise moment in time. Bad camera angle there. Good exit by Jasko. Very precise through that section of track, but a bit further back now, we've got Bruce catching onto the back of Disco. We're going to have some racing here, ladies and gentlemen, definitely. Looks like Uber's very close to Scotty as they exited the chute, now into the toe. Sounds like there's an Audi there in the background too that's also very close, and it looks like Uniclar and Fury are just as close. So, a testament to where rugby racing is at the minute, guys. We have got fantastic races in and throughout this field. It doesn't matter where you are out on track, there is racing. Whether you're in P1 or P13, there's always got to be racing going on. And we've had a quick comment from our American driver. Unfortunate spin into the pits for Kemba. Bad luck, DQ will return for the feature. That's good news. Trackside now is Fury and Unipart side by side.
I think Uniclar tried to go for the undercut there.
He definitely did. I don't think he trusts too much that Fury is going to leave him the room, and it's going to look like Unipart's going to have a good run.
Fury kind of just looked like he went straight to the wall.
Yeah, he didn't see Uniclar there at the side of him. It just looked like Uniclar's going to have that position done. Yes, he does. Uniclar tucks back through. On board with Travin now. Look at that. Uber seems to be catching Scotty in the straight bits, but Scotty very good in the twisters. At 488, always behaving beautifully for him. A little further up the field now. Look at this. Bruce on the case of Disco now in through the bus stop. Looks like Disco is really struggling in that section of track. If you're lucky not to get a slowdown, it looks like Defino has a slowdown there. We'll have a quick check on the timings. 2-second penalty for Defino, 2-second penalty for Disco. So on all intensive purposes at the minute, Bruce is ahead of Disco, but not visually on track. Trav and Nubar very close to one another too, but I think they'll be coming through the bus stop, so it'll be a concertina effect if you will. Jasko now pulled 2.5 seconds on Defino, and it looks like Bruce has really got some momentum here. He's showing Disco the inside, coming into the hill. Just again, trying to get a reaction out of Disco. The Scottish driver from Edinburgh is doing a grand job since he's joined us. If anything, a little nitpick is his pit crew. They don't like to fuel that Mercedes. They've left him dry a few times, excuse the pun. Lecky holding P7. I'm really impressed from the touring car driver tonight. Quick trackside now.
Disco ran very wide there.
And he has
a bit
does look like
vulnerable to Bruce here.
It does look like he's picked up a Bentley.
Not a good exit.
Oh, here we go. We're going to see a battle on into the first corner. The 90s. Nope, thought better of it. But has Disco got another penalty? We'll keep an eye on that. He's still in the red bit there, and we did see him cut the corner. Looks like Travin is very, very close to Ubar, and that's going to about do it. It's going to lose some momentum down the start-finish. Fury still trying to keep up there with Uniclar, but not there at the minute. Look how close these boys are.
In fact, Leo's just picked up a penalty, I can see. Only 1 second, but maybe enough for Defino to keep that second place.
We should be able to see the split timings on screen, and Defino has is impressed since he's been here, and is very capable of keeping that position. A quick look at him though. Let's have a look at what Leo's up to. It's not letting him go by any means, but back to where the racing is at the minute, and Bruce has Disco in his sights. A quick look at the timings, and it looks like Leo's picked up a second penalty, and there's a couple more seconds in there from Uniclark and Ubar, so these penalties will mount up. We have a 15-second allowable penalty before they pull you in for a drive-through. Of course, all these seconds here and then, it looks like Leo's got closer, but for a second there, it was just a concertina effect. Looks like in all the mayhem of these boys trying to fight one another on track, Jasko's managed to pull a further 2.5 seconds out that lap alone. He was a full second over, and look at that. Disco pushes out wide again. Is it going to be another slowdown? Coming up fastest lap at the minute, Jasko Villa, a 1:41.5. He's absolutely flying, and look at that. Disco pulling out of the draft. He's absolutely gone in that AMG. It must be so frustrating for Bruce behind in the M6, catching him through the twist stuff. Looks like Leo's got a good run through the S's here. Always goes well in the Lamborghini.
Ubar and Draven, they touch. I think Ubar's been spun around.
It does look like there was some contact
wheel
back
to
there.
wheel through the front. They were going wheel to wheel through the front.
Look at this here though, champ. Look at this. Uniclark, Fury and Grey Warrior over the start finish now into the 90s. Unfortunately, it did look like there was a bit of contact, and Ubar again picked up some sort of time penalty and all that. Look at how close our Bridgeman from Swindon there was from the back of Fury. We have seen Uniclark overtake Fury once tonight, so maybe a mistake from Uniclark, maybe not finding this race as he loses the downforce with that section of track. We're going to have to go trackside. He's now got the run on the Lambo down the back straight into double stop. Need to give each other the room, and Uniclark's going to have to draft off the Lambo in front, so this should be about done this, and it is. Uniclark through P11 again. What's going on with Traven? Traven seeing the back of Lecky now, so Lecky may be under fire a little bit for that P7 spot. Bruce again onto the back of Disco. Very close, but unless Disco bollocks up the exit here, it's going to be as you were, and it is. Back with Traven. Still trying to find a way past the man, the myth, the legend that is Lecky. What's Fury up to? Wow, we came on board at just the right time. Fury, Uniclark and Grey Warrior giving this show. We're going to have to go trackside as they're down to the boot into the heel now. It's a straight drag race with the Lambo in front. Looks like Fury's going to try even later on the brakes, and he is up the inside. They give each other the route to race. That's good to see. Uniclark definitely saw him coming that time. It looks like Fury's going to try and have a run in the background. The Rain Man goes sideways. The Welsh Dragon going backwards as these three give us a show and a half coming out the back end of the heel. Careful not to put all four tyres over on the right hand side. Is Fury going to have a go on to it? He is! What a move! Can he keep it going up the start finish now? Uniclark's going to have a hell of a view of this. Does look like the Grey Warriors got a bit faster in the straight line now into turn one. Side by side these boys are. Is Uniclark trying to have a nibble of this as well? It is going to lose a bit of ground to him. Back on board with Fury, who again, new driver to the league, doing absolutely fantastic. 6 minutes of this race to go. Again, if you like what you see on the YouTube channel, please leave us a like. Please hit that subscribe button. Help promote the channel and make it what it is. Kembo, Jasko is an animal. There's no denying that, buddy. He is very quick. Traven now, closer to Lecky. It's like Uniclark's caught up onto the back of him a little bit. We're going to have a look what Traven's up to. Lecky doing a good job though, it must be said. Exiting the chute into the turn now, but Lecky currently, what's he, 1 second in front. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Bruce and Disco again very close to one another, but for all intents and purposes, looks like Bruce makes up all that lap time in the twisty stuff. Then we come onto the straight. We'll have a look at the speed of that AMG now as we're coming over the last turn. Looks like Bruce might have a good exit here, so watch the AMG now. Into the draft is the M6. He's not losing as much time as I thought there, but is he going to have a go? Thinks better of it. Just shows you the level of experience of these guys. Back with the fighting. Looks like this. Look at this. Uniclark and Grey Warrior. They're all over one another, not giving each other an inch to race at the minute. This will only end one way if it carries on. Fury going to defend the line? He does, but he needs to be careful moving back across onto the line. He's fine defending the inside corner, but can't switch back, and it looks like Uniclark's going to have the run now. Side by side. Bruce is pretty close to Disco too, but we're going to stick with Uniclark, making the move into the 90s. for a new driver, Fury's really impressive. Managing to keep the space in between each other. They're going to go side by side into the S's. Surely not. Surely not all the way into the S's. It looks like Fury lost the back end of the car. He's lost the spoiler. That isn't going to help him at all. Uniclark away a little bit. That gap increased there. So Uniclark is now going to try and fight on to the back of Grey Warrior. Him and Fury giving us an absolute show. Now look at this gap. This is not 1 second anymore. Lecky doing his best now into the turf. So that gap has dropped dramatically, champ. And it looks like Lecky's gone a little bit wide there. So trackside now he's going to lose that position. And it looks like Travis is through to P7. Lecky P8 still in a good position at the minute. I do want to take a look on board with Bruce though. And again it looks like Disco hits the wall. So it looks like, looking at the exit of this one, I don't want to look at the times quite yet, but P1, 2, 3, 4, 9 and 11 all have time penalties, and this could be coming very much into play. Quick on board. Go trackside and have a look at the timings, as long as there's no move being made. There isn't. So, Jasko VR with a 2-second penalty. Double seeing put back is 6 seconds in front, but Duffino with a 4-second penalty. So what's that put him? That puts him firmly in the grass. It does, but it also, Leo has a 1-second penalty and Disco a 2-second penalty. So what that'll mean is Leo's currently running P2, definitely, by 2 seconds. It looks like Disco had a slowdown, comes out the way to serve it. Probably a good idea. Back with Leo. Quick on board. You can physically see that gap there. It's saying it's over a second. Looks a little bit more than that to me. Back with Fury. Look at this. Grey Warrior and Uniclark. There was some questionable defending there on board with Grey Warrior. You should call the back end of it.
Picked up another penalty. It's now on 3 seconds.
That's unbelievable. So these timings, ladies and gentlemen, and not as close as you'd think. They do have penalties. Jasko probably with the latter out of them all. Back on board with Disco. He's going to try and hunt down that M6. He's had it in the rear view for almost 15 minutes of this race. Now he's had to let go of it in front. We'll have another quick look at the splits while we've got you here. Again, Duffino with a 4-second penalty. Yeah, Leo with a 3-second penalty. Disco with a 3-second. And Uniclark. No, Uber. And yeah, Uniclark. So, looking back, we'll go trackside. Oh, it looks like Disco got so wide coming out there. Back on board with the Rain Man himself. He looks like he's been having an absolute difficult one. He has Fury in front, who's been really fun to watch. Like, he's definitely not giving an inch when it's come to racing. What about Grey Warrior now? And Uniclark's definitely just pissed off there. He has definitely got that done. So it looks like Scotty's going to be the one to give us a show towards the end. We'll keep an eye on the action. But back with our race leader. He's not had too much run time tonight. He's been out in front and he's got a healthy gap of over 7 seconds. He's currently on a good lap coming through the bus stop at the minute. Currently 7 seconds up. A little further with all the penalties, but doing a grand job with 2 minutes to go. He's in control of this race, 6 seconds back, but with a 4-second penalty is Duffino, our Czech driver from Olomouc. He's not really put a foot wrong. Apart from these time penalties, he's driven fantastically. I did say at the start of the race he's prone to a mistake with that rear end being as lively as it is, but Duffino, I believe, is on his wheel tonight. He was a controller player, and for a controller player he did very well, very competitive, but he's now on the wheel and he's showing us some real good lap times. He's hanging out with the likes of Leo and people like that, so again, doing a good job. And it looks like Scotty and Fury are pretty close again. Bit of a concertina effect. We'll see how fast that Lambo is in front, and Scotty's going to lose a bit of momentum coming off the barrier there. Back with Leo, who has jumped Duffino on the timings. Again, get involved with the YouTube, leave us your comment, let us know what you think. We've got the feature race coming up, ladies and gentlemen. From a minute ago, we're going to get the feature set up. Currently lap 11, so we'll be looking at around a 24-lap, 25-lap race. Reverse grid, so all the fast guys from this one, Duffino, Jasko, Leo, Bruce, Disco, the likes of those guys, they'll be all at the back. That'll be fun to watch. Look at this, Grey Warrior's fallen into the clutches of Fury and Scotty. Very close on track. Looks like Disco's, Leo's making up some time on Duffino. We've got a great fight back there. We will keep an eye on the top three though. Look at this, onto the bumper. I'm sure there's some red paint on the front end of that Lambo. Fury does very well not to collect the back of Grey Warrior there. They're both very close to one another, and this has allowed the Rain Man himself to catch up with them, so they need to be careful. And it does look like Leo's got very close to him, but back Fury trying the undercut. Lambo in front needs to be careful, can make the one move to defend the line, but can then not cut back across on it, and Leo is under a second at the minute. He's pretty close. I'm not sure what's going on, maybe Definio's taking a slow down, but look at this, look how sideways that Lambo is, and that's proven my point a little bit. Those tyres starting to go off the back a little bit, into the toe now. As you were, quick look at what Scotty's up to, having a look at Fury on the inside, he's going to push out, and he's lost the back end of the car. Fury now, he's the only guy that can challenge Grey Warrior for a P11. It's good to see that there's still fighting going on throughout the field here. Delfinio just about holding onto P2 on track, of course, with the time penalties, we'll see him back. Again, people on the YouTube channel, please stick with us, but back on board with our Bosnian driver, GT3 point leader. He's going to come across the final corner tonight. We stick with us on the YouTube channel, we've got a feature race to come, but Jasko VR looks like he's going to take on P1 in the feature race, buddy. A brand new baby dad. Good work, buddy. Good to see you out on track, where you belong. P1 across the line. Where's Delfinio in all this? Will come across the line, but I think Leo, he will have it through the time penalties. He does, he jumps in. Leo, fantastic recovery drive after going through the field a little bit. What's Bruce up to? He comes across the line too. He should be very impressed with that position. Disco P5, adding to the points tally. Good job. Looks like Nicky, our resident man of Silverstone, is going to take on P6. And he does have Chaffin in the background there, so the new guys of the league proving and stamping their authority on there that they can indeed drive if needed. Good job to Nicky as he comes across the line in P6. Good driving, buddy. Good driving. Trevin not too far behind. It'll be interesting to see these guys on a longer race. Trevin P7, and it comes to the Flying Dutchman, going to come across the line in P8. Good driving, Uber. Lecky now is going to bring it home in P9. Clean up time penalties, and Uniclark very close behind in P10. He had to work hard for that one, champ. Definitely. Grey Warrior coming across the line now, closely followed by Fury, and it looks like Scotty's going to lead up the back.
Very close to Grey Warrior.
Absolutely.
But he, half spun. He got a little sideways coming out the final corner.
Yeah, they look very lively, don't they, mate? We're coming out towards the end. So what we're going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. Congratulations to Jasko on the win. Leo and Delfinio for holding out the last podium spots. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a 12-lap race. We're going to have a 24-lap feature. What we're going to ask you to do is all the fast guys to build the back. It will be a reverse grid with a couple of warm-up laps, a warm-up lap. What I will ask you to do is bear with us while the drivers stretch their legs and get the nicotine levels up while we get the lobby set up, and we'll be ready to go. Thank you everyone for the likes and comments and for supporting the channel. We'll be with you setting this lobby up. Trackside now at Ken. He's going to start backing the field up, and all the fielders start lining up. Scotty's going to be on the left hand side of him. They'll all start backing up now, and now they're in position, lining up 2 by 2. Fury's going to be at the side of Grey Warrior. That's good to see. Now we're going to look at a bit further back. Lecky needs to be on there. He is. Where's Traven? Just pulling in now. And Nicky, Disco pulling onto the back of him. So we're on board with Kemba. We'll have a look at the speedo so we can tell the boys when they're about to go live. It looks like he's got his green light, and he's got a good start. He always does get a good start, does Kemba, our American driver. It looks like Scotty's going to pull across the line and defend it. A little further back. Let's have a look on the onboard, make sure we're not missing anything. It looks like, wow, what a drive that Fury gets out the corner. It looks like Uniclark's having a little nibble here. Look at that! Lecky around the outside. Have you ever seen a move like that into the S's, champ? That was very brave. Sure, with the moving about there, it looks like Grey Warrior's trying to defend
Bruce
the line.
and Leo been caught up in an accident.
Oh no, in the background there we've seen, yeah, Bruce going backwards, and Leo's caught up in it. Jasko manages to avoid it. Back up where the action is, on board with the Flying Dutchman. Doesn't half look like Lecky struggled around that section of track, managed to bring it back on and save it. Definitely on the harder compound there. Into the toe. Nope, sorry, the chute now. It looks like he's going to have to go on the outside. What a crappy camera angle that was. Back above with Uniclark. Uniclark gets caught out. He's going to get pushed around here. He is. It is into the wall. Such a shame to see. He's going to have to try and reset there. Just got caught out. And it looks like Scotty understeered to death coming into the toe now. Back with where the racing is. There's Fury on the back end again. Ken's got such a hell of a drive there. We'll take a look back at Uber trying his best to figure out a way past that McLaren. A little further back as Traven got going again. He has. Jasko in front of these boys now in P8. Delfinio following suit. Leo's got going again. It's good to see our Brazilian driver going. back on track, so he's following up with Uniclark. He's got a fast guy in front of him, back on board with Trevor, trying to chase down Nicky. I believe there's a position swap there, Nicky maybe in front, so back on board with Davinia. Look at the boys pushing wide through that section of track. Disco must have a fantastic view, he's going to try and cut back. Good move there. Will Uber give him the room? They do. Disco needs to also give him the room, but it's a straight drag straight up to the corner that is named the 90s. Bruce comes back across the line. Disco comes back across the line. Needs to be careful. Just trying to open the corner up, and Uber loses another spot because of it. So Uber with Dafinio now in front of him. It looks like Bruce and Leo into the pit. They're going to serve their pit stops, try and minimise the damage that having that spin did to them. We'll go on board with Disco. Fury, 7 seconds behind Kenbo's. Kenbo really going for it at the minute, working down 312. Look at the closing speed there, into the bus stop. Oh, he's going to try to cut back. Grey Warrior very close in. Is he going to save it? He just about saves it. Grey Warrior needs a round of applause there. Hell of a save in the end. Oh, he's gone round again, and lucky enough for him, Uber was there. I don't think he meant to do that. Jasko's on the outside. Grey Warrior needs to watch out for the point leader. He's through. Bit of a flash of the headlights. I think he's going to let Uber through at the minute. I think he is. Uber very wide through that section of track, though. He is. Very, very fair of Grey Warrior. Nice to see. And it looks like Nicky, in the end, has... Grey Warrior's through. He is. Oh, no, sorry. My bad. It is still Nicky that leads Travon. But they're very, very close. We're going to go ball with Travon now as he tries to jump down the man from Silverstone, Nicky. Into the heel. He pulls out the draft. We're going to go trackside because we can't see him. Do they give each other the room to race? They do indeed. Fantastic driving by the boys. It looks like Scotty. Look how close Dafinio is there. He's side by side with Disco into this section of track. Disco sees him, gives Dafinio the room to race. That's good to see. This feature race a little longer. Wow! Dafinio cutting the back across onto the line. I think the car snapped on him there. I don't think he intentionally meant to get that close with Disco. Disco does a good job to come out the way of it. It looks like Dafinio's going to try and hold the line into the 90s. He does. Disco concedes it. Can he get a run out of it? Dafinio placing the car in such a way makes it so awkward to pass in this section. Up to the S's now. I think Disco took a little bit of a curve there. And will Dafinio get the run on Fury?
I think he had a little wiggle and he ran into the wall a bit.
Absolutely. I think he was doing very well to actually save the car. And we are side by side coming into the bus stop, champ. What do you think? What are your thoughts so far?
It's been very good racing so far. It's one of the things that can happen when you have a reverse grid race. People can go all over the place.
We've got our point leader behind Jasko. We'll go on board with him into cockpit view. He's watching these battles unfold, and Fury again in front has to try and save the car. Our point leader here wants to be very careful, trying to make his way past the boys here. He doesn't want to get collected in any way, shape or form. And that Fury, that Lambo looks like a handball. Has lost the back end of it again. Oh, Jasko just about managing to miss out there. Thank God for that. Jasko through without too much infringement. Scotty through as well. Fury loses a whole bunch of places there. Let's go on board with Disco now. There we go. This is the lead for the race on lap 4. 7 tenths separate the first two people, which is our American driver, also the moderator, the lead coordinator here at Robbins Racing for the GT3 Ginetta League. He does a fantastic job commentating. Missed the hard on the brakes himself, leading this race, but look at this, Dafinio with a hell of a run. Is he going to try to switch back? Ken's going to be a bit gingerly into this corner, and can you blame him? He ran into the pit backwards. It looks like Dafinio's going to challenge it. It's NSX versus Lambo, and it looks like the Lambo gets a great drive off the corner. Ken, however, fully capable of taking that position back. We'll go on board with our American driver. He's going to start hearing that AMG behind him very soon. Look at how fast these boys are. We'll take a quick look back at what Disco's looking at. Ken just about holds on there and runs to the barrier, manages to keep it out. We've got a bit of racing with Uber and Scotty there as well. I think Uber may have even had to lift, but back with Disco for a second. Nope, back with Uber then. We'll go trackside as the Welshman from Swansea takes on our Dutch driver from Dreef into the bus stop. Who's got the bigger nutsats here? Scott's so late onto the brakes, and Uber tucks right back in. It looks like Ken's lost another position. Still holding on to P3 in the podium spot, but having a tough time of it at the minute, trying to hold on to the back end of that NSX. The NSX renowned for being very stable. Look at this. Jasko has the Flying Dutchman in front of him, and Scotty again is going to have to try and figure a way around these two without trying to put himself in danger. Uber does look like he's going to cover the line a little bit. doesn't at all. He lets Ubar through. It's a definite let through for Ubar there with our Bosnian driver. Knows that Lambo is fast, doesn't want to fight and lose any time. Tucks back up in between the draft. We'll put up on the track map here. Good driving from the back of the grid. Jasko VR P5 at the minute. And it looks like he's going to have a go onto with Scotty now, doesn't it? Onto the cockpit cam. Scotty's seeing him a little bit. I think he'd give him enough room if he were to make an opportunity there, but the 488 good off the acceleration. P4 at the minute. He could get himself into a podium spot. Already through onto lap 6 of the race. But look at this, there's a whole queue down. Ubar in the background, just about keeping it out. The Lamborghini. Is someone into the pit there? It looked like Disco may have pitted one of the guys there. Nothing's come up. Ah, there we go, Disco into the pit. It looks like Jasko's about to make a move. Scotty definitely sees him, delays the steering. That was another let by there, I reckon. It was indeed. It looks like Ubar's caught right up onto the back of Scotty again. And they're into the S's here. Ubar comes off the accelerator. Careful not to tap the 488. The 488 would have been round at that point. It looks like Travin's going to get involved in this too. Look at this. Ubar's rear tyres going off. And we have the Audi R8 trying to weigh up the Flying Dutchman. But the IMG just too fast in a straight line. Scotty onto the brakes. And look at this. Trevin. It's going to hold it round the outside, but Ubar's not going to give him the room to make that. No. Flying Dutchman not messing around there. Wasn't giving him the room through the bus stop. Very hard racing, but very fair from the pair of them. And we've got it on at the minute. Jasko VR currently 3 seconds behind Kenbo in P2. Lap 6. We are a quarter down in this race. Look at that slide on that Scotty gets around the corner there with Ubar in tandem to him. So we have racing on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to the cockpit of Tavern again. Our new driver into women's racing. He's had a few races with us this season. Looks like he may have been slowed up by these guys in front. Currently 8 tenths down on his best, so can definitely go a lot faster. And Ubar goes defensive into the corner. We'll have to go track side just to see what's going on. Ubar again looks like he's suffering with the back end of those tyres into what is the end of the heel now. We're going to have to go trackside. Trevor around the outside of that Mercedes. What a move that was. And it looks like Nicky's there in close contention too. So's Uniclar back on the pace again after his little excursion on lap 1. Quite a pile-up between them all. Looks like Leo's picked up a time penalty. Leo caught P2 in the championships. If the positions stay the way they are. I know Leo has pitted though. There is a gap there. And it looks like Travin's trying to weigh up the Welshman, Scotty. Again, he gets a good drive out the 90s there. And Ubar in close tandem there. We'll have a look what Uniclark's seeing. So any mistake by these boys, and it looks like Travin and Scotty are giving us a show again through the S's. Any mistake by these balls. Disco still in the pit. I wonder what's going on with him. He's already pitted once. Has he yet again had his pit stop ruined, I think, by his pit crew? They've either put the wrong tyres on or they haven't fueled him.
Around the outside again, Travin.
Wow, he's pulled off some hell of a moves tonight. You know, places where I wouldn't expect them necessarily to be making moves like that. But we have Ubar, Scotty and Travin giving us a show. And it looks like Nicky and Uniclark are going to come and join in as well. So at the minute, on board the Flying Dutchman as they come through the chute into the toe now. Just about make out, it's like front, it's Ken in front. So there's podium spots on for all these boys here now. This is beginning their hands warmed up. There's some rubbing going on, looking at what they can get here. There's definitely a podium on for all these boys. Take a quick look back at Uniclark. This is it. Uniclark, Nicky, Ubar, Scotty, Travin. Oh, look at that. Ubar is going to have a right view of this. I don't know what happened there. And the camera's not helping us out either. Looks like we had a little bit of contact through there with Scotty. Oh, Uniclark very sideways. Good save by our British driver from Swindon. But we have some argy-bargy going on, definitely. And Travin catching up with Ken. A little further back. Scotty in a sandwich here. He's got Nicky in the Audi behind him. He's got Ubar in front of him. And they've got Uniclark closing onto him all the time. Cockpit view now with our man from Swindon. I think Nicky covers the line just as well. No way around for Uniclark there. Through the 90s now, up into the S's. This is where the AMG should have the top end here, coming out the S's at the top. If we could just about keep it clean. Thank you again for leaving comments on the YouTube channel. We'll get back to as many as possible. Come join us on the Discord. We'll get yourself involved with the action on track tonight. We're going to go trackside.
They're gonna make it 3 wide.
They look like the 3 wide, don't they? Yeah. The camera, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but they were 3 wide coming into the bus stop. Uniclark very wide. The boys are stuck together there. Uniclark's had to take evasive action. Scotty's come through smelling of roses there, but for a second, that 488 and that Audi R8 were very close to one another. And in the background, you're seeing a British driver from Manchester catch up with these, the pro touring car driver, making a go of it in the feature, maybe like in the warmer conditions. Quick look at what Ubar's up to though. He's catching Ken. Ken's falling off out the podium spot now. He's going back through the order, but still maintaining a good speed around the track with the NSX. Traffin, our new introduction driver. He's about to wipe that tag clean off if he managed to get a podium in the blue ribbon event GT3. But quick look back at what Uniclark's up to. Wow, did we come on board at the right time? And Lecky's caught up onto the back of these. We've got a cockpit man from Manchester. We see exit the hill into the last couple of sectors now. Lambo looking good. Uniclark sort of covering the line. Lecky having a little nibble there. Looks like he's good through that section of track as Manchester-based driver. Into the last corner now. We've seen accidents happen here. Wow, what a run! Lecky gets out there and manages to keep it out the wall. Uniclark though driving with the AMG power there. Is he going to have a go into the first corner? Thinks better of it. What a train of cars we've got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic, and it looks like Ubar's very close to Kembo now too. The Flying Dutchman, the man from Dreef in P5 at the minute, P4 definitely doable, and the podium there in the sights. All doing fantastically well. Look at this! Side by side, up the back straight into the bus stop.
Wide again,
it's
are they?
Crazy. Welcome to GT3 Robbins Racing, ladies and gentlemen. We're 9 laps down and these boys stuck together white glue. Uniclark has to come off the throttle to save the back end from going around. Some fantastic driving going on here. All the while, a man from Manchester behind. Oh, he was going to have that position. Nicky does a good job to keep hold of the car there. I thought that was gone, and he managed to pull it back. Fantastic job at the minute. On board with Uniclark now. Scotty pushing so wide through there. Even the tyres are really heating up on that 488, or just the setup's that way out, but still in a good point scoring position. Again, I think Uniclark is more or less pretty close to all these boys in the championship standing. He is P6 at the minute, 25 points behind Scotty. The man you see in front, they're very close in the championship standing, so this move here for Uniclark could have championship ramifications. Kenbo now lost that spot to Ubar. The Flying Dutchman is through into B4. Can Ubar be then released? Look at this, Ken's got a great drive off there. Ubar had to go defensive. Had to block him off. He's lost a little bit of momentum for it though, and it looks like Lecky again into P8. That room was done through the error of Nicky. Uniclark, will he get a drive again? I think Scotty's just about safe there. But yeah, Ken P5 at the minute, trying to hang in there. Leo's made his pit stop. I think that's a time penalty there with the red at the side of his name. But thank you again on the YouTube for joining us. We've got some fantastic racing going on as we watch our British man from Swindon tackle the S's. The 488 pushes very wide. You can hear the Lambo in the background too joining the fight, so it's not over. The draft comes through the back straight now into the bus stop. Oh, they touch. Need to give each other a little bit more room than that, but it looks like Uniclark. Look at this in the background. Is Lecky gone? Look at that for a move for Lecky for the bus stop. That was crazy. And it looks like Ken's gone round. We've got a yellow flag coming out the bus stop. Yellow flag coming out the bus stop. Yellow flag coming out the bus stop. Yellow flag, and Ken's got going again. Yellow flag still out the bus stop, boys. Yellow flag. Looks like Ken's got going again. Good to see. Green flag. Green flag. So Scotty now with Lecky in his sights. Uniclark's managed to get in front of him too. Will Uniclark pull away? Can Lecky keep with him? He looks like he's got that car a lot more planted. Back with Disco, who is at the back of the field. I believe his pit crew have probably bollocksed him up again, but it's good to see our Scottish driver keep him going here. It's good to see the dedication from the man from Edinburgh. Keep going there, and he needs to. He's P7 in the championship. It's only 28 points behind Uniclark. He needs to keep the points tallies going, and Grey Warrior there in close proximity to do. Look at this. Lecky is really not letting that AMG go. Looks like Lecky's dad definitely had the word with his mechanics last time out in the sprint race. We're on lap 11 now, guys. We're nearly at half race distance. And at the minute, Definio is leading the field, and he's leading it by a considerable distance. However, Jasko was a full second quicker last time around. A quick look at our leader at the minute, who gets either very wide through there or having a bit of coding. I'm not too sure. We'll keep an eye on that though. Jasko 5.5 seconds behind. Just comes out the bus stop himself. It does indeed. That's how it's done. Trafford now. Will we see Uber Slate in the background? Just about to see that AMG. So Trafford in a podium spot at the minute, but we're going to go back to where the racing is. Lecky's going to have a go with Uni Clark. It looks like Nicky and Scotty are supposed to get the two. It does look, for all intents and purposes, like Scotty's struggling with understeer in that 488 physically on the stream. Kembo into the pit, just about into the pit spot now. On board with Nicky, relatively newcomer into the lead, but very well considering in P8, and he's not letting P7, 6 or 5th go any means. Good outing by our man there from Silverstone. Good to see. Who do you think out of these three, champ? Look like they've got the legs at the minute between them all.
I think Unicorn's got the most pace. He seems to be pulling away a bit.
He does, yeah. I mean, last time around, he was like 1,000ths up on Lecky, so they're very close lap time wise, but that AMG does look quick once it gets onto the straights.
Out of the three here, though, Lecky, Lines, and NRP, I can't really say because they're so close to each other. If I had to choose one, I would say Lecky. Just because I think he has the most experience, and saying that, they come into the pits.
Lecky into the pit, Uniclark into the pit. So Uniclark came in first, Lecky behind. We'll keep an eye on the action in here though. We'll see if Lecky can jump Uniclark into the pit. See what people's pit strategy like. Looks like Bruce just coming up on that as well. He's going to take the positions. Is Uniclark going again? He is. Lecky going again. Hang on, no, they're going into the grid spot, so both of them still there. So back on board with Nicky coming out the S's up the back straight now. Again, it does look like Scotty's suffering a little bit with understeering. It looks like Uniclark out the pit.
Really long
stop. Obviously, they entered very close to one another, and look at the understeer that 488 has. And Lecky's still into the pit at the minute. Grey Warrior also in. On board with Nicky as they exit the outblue into the chute now. Jasko now has managed to pull half a second on that last lap. He was 5.5 seconds down. Mind you, the split going back up again, so Definio with plenty of pace here, and last time around he was very close to Jasko's pace, so Definio within a shout of actually doing this one. Lecky finally out the pit spot now. Lost a lot of time to Uniclark there, it must be said. He's 16 seconds on track if you'd count it all out. That's a long pit stop there for a man from Manchester, doing a hell of a job sticking with the midfield pack. Pit stops, however, bit of a detriment at the minute. Same with Disco as well, he was right there. Scotty takes an interesting line through the out of the heel, but he's back on the pace once again. He does look like he's suffering with understeer. Nicky being very careful not to lose the back end of the car there. It looks like Leo's pretty close to the back end of Bruce, so that'll be an interesting battle nonetheless. Uber into the pit. So Scotty, Nicky, Bruce, I think as well, and Leo are going to be through. They are indeed, so our Flying Dutchman going to lose a few positions here, but again, once all the pit stops are all sorted out, we'll get a good feel for where everybody's at on track. But I do believe that Leo has taken his pit stop. We'll go on board with Nicky. Again, Scotty understeering through the S's, and we have a side-by-side situation. We're going to have to go trackside down the back straight into the bus stop. Fantastic sounding car side-by-side. Very much a sympathy running into the bus stop as they ping off the limiter there. And it does look, for all four intents and purposes, that Leo is catching up onto the back of Bruce. So the longer this race goes on, the more the rear-wheel drive cars, which I believe the majority of them are, they're going to suffer with the back end of the car, so it's going to be more like a bit of ice skating between them all, I imagine. Scotty doing a fantastic job, P4 at the minute. Looks like he's found a bit more pace in that lap there. Bit of a gap opening up. So a little run down the field now. Where's the Flying Dutchman after his pit stop? P8. He seems to have a couple of seconds on Uniclark, but very much in his sights. Definio into the pit. Only just into the pit too, so Jasko's going to see what sort of lead he can eke out. He usually pits towards the end of the race. but we will keep an eye on the splits. Where is Travon in all this? Exited now. Is he going to take his pit stop too? I think he is. He's careful not to go over the limit there. So Tofino, be on his way out. He is. He's comfortably got that P2 spot. He's not going to be hassled one bit. Is Scotty going to take his pit stop? Don't think he is. So it's very much as you were, but Travon only just going again. He's not even going again. He's not even in his spot. So Scotty's going to inherit a podium spot at the minute. Nicky very close behind though. So all still very much to play for. I believe these boys still need to pit. It does look like Leo's really on the arse end of Bruce now. Also, Unipark on Uber, that's pretty close too. We'll have a look what Leo's up to. About the same gap, really. Does look like, if anything, Scotty does suffer through that, but manages to take a little bit more momentum this time. It's good to see him sort of getting that car sorted. Bruce still doing a hell of a job. But must be said, our British driver from Chester, P10 in the championship, he hasn't taken part in a lot of it. Again, one of the pro LMP drivers of the league, so good to see them diversing a little bit and dipping their toes in other leagues. Clark now, he's going to hassle the man from Drift, the man, the myth, the legend that is. He's trying to get out the draft there, trying to break it, not letting, making it too easy for our man from Swindon. These two very experienced racers. So this will be interesting to watch on track. Again, it's a testament to the Women's Racing League. It doesn't matter where you are on track. There is going to be racing throughout the field. And it looks like Leo, Bruce and Nicky are very close to one another. All within a second of one another. So this will be interesting to watch the way it folds out. But again, yeah, testament to the Women's Racing Series. Every one of them, guys. We have league racing throughout the week. Touring car Tuesday, Thursday night lights is a random car, random track. Bruce very close to Nicky now. We have then a Friday night Genetta League, a GT3 hosted by Kembo, who's seen P13 in the NSX. It's like Bruce is very, very close. Yeah, it's host on a Friday night. And then we move on to Saturday. We have Ubars, Dutch driver from Drift, his LMP1 league, and we have a newly crowned champion, which brings us on nicely to Champ, who is sat in the commentary box tonight, who's won the first ever LMP1 championship, and a massive congratulations to him. Again, it's good to have you sat with us, buddy. Your insight.
It's my honor to be here.
Looks
I
like
really
Nicky
appreciate being given the opportunity to sit here.
Absolutely, mate. Well, like the thing is, your insight, buddy, is going to be invaluable on the stream. You could tell us a lot of things that we're either going to miss or that we wouldn't see as people watching.
I think Leo's made a mistake. He's dropped way off compared to Bruce, and Nicky's all over him. So I wonder what's happened.
Yeah, he was in the fight with these guys. Maybe he's caught the draft, and he's definitely got a time penalty, so he's had an off somewhere. He's had an out of bounds, a track warning, if you will. Look at Bruce sliding onto the back end of the Rain Man. The man from Swansea, he is being hassled at the minute. Scotty holding on to a P3 position, which would be a podium spot. It'd be a fantastic result from our Welshman there, but he's got Bruce in close proximity. He's got Nicky in close proximity. Leo seems to have found his pace again. On board there, that was a wrong on board. We were meant to be going with Bruce there. He's pulled out on the side, and we're going to have a fight on for the last podium spot into the heel. It does look like Bruce has got the position done on track, but Scotty's not going to have any of that. He's going to want to fight back. But at the minute, Bruce has found some fresh tyres in that BMW in a podium spot. Keeps out the wall. Well done. Well, they all do. Fantastic driving. Quick look back at Clark. Definitely came on board at the right bloody time there, because Flying Dutchman is having some bother with an AMG in the background there. So it's a good line through there. It's going to be as you were. Back on board with Nicky. That's a bit of a gap there. What's Clark up to again? On board with our British driver from Swindon now. We're on lap 16, ladies and gentlemen. We have less than 10 laps to go of this round 9 Watkins Glen. Then we move on to our final round of the season at Hockenheim. Can anyone stop the abdominal force that is Jasco VR? We will find out. Again, Scotty understeering a little bit, coming up the brow of the hill, and look at this, Nicky gets so wide over the curves there. That is an advertisement not to run the curves, and that's going to allow Leo in the background to catch up once again. So we're going to have some fighting towards the end. Back with our man from Swindon. Looks like does look almost like Uber suffering exactly the same as Scotty at the top of that. The car goes a little bit light. They have to correct it, so both Scotty and Uber suffering a little bit. Look at that wide Uber again comes in there. It's rather impressive that he can actually pull that back onto the line. He's definitely a little quicker than Uniclark in that sector of track. On board with our Brazilian driver tonight. He's not had the best of luck, and it looks like Jasco's into the pit too. So we're going to have to check on trackside. Where's Delfinio? Just coming out the last sector now into the last corner. Jasco not in his grid spot yet, so this may be Delfinio through. For an actual position on track. Jasco now in his box. Delfinio's going to cross the line. Where's Bruce in all this? Only just coming up to the end into the heel now, so Jasco is going to comfortably have P2 at the very least. So Delfinio, our Czech driver from Olomouc, takes P1 at the minute, and Jasco out the pit now. Whereabouts is Bruce? Just about coming up the last bend now, so Jasco and Delfinio class of the field at the minute. Quick look back. Leo side by side. Yeah, I was just about saying the arguments that Scotty and Nicky were having on track has brought Leo back into play again, and he is no slouch. He doesn't mess around in that Lamborghini GT3 Hurricane. He is a fast driver. You give him an inch, he'll take an absolute mile on you. Quick look at what Uniclark's up to. He's very close with Uber. I don't think that's where the fighting's going to be at. On board with Leo. No, Scotty suffers a little bit through this section of track. Leo as flat out as you like through there, so we're probably going to have to go trackside, or Scotty's going to have to defend the inside into the bus stop.
And does. Of the Italians.
Absolutely.
Lambo versus Ferrari.
It's the prancing horse against the raging bull. Which one will prevail? And all the while you've got that German ringed Audi in the background, ready to pick up the pieces if any of them make a mistake. Fantastic. This, I mean, driving this close to one another, you're losing that front end downforce. You do feel it. You have to sort of take different lines and weigh up the opportunities that you're given. Scotty currently P4, Leo P5, and Nicky following in P6. Uniclark looks like he's very close now to does look like, for all intents and purposes, that Uniclark is very quick. Uber's going to lose a bit of momentum coming through there. Is this going to be the position done into the toe? It does. Uniclark through. Back with the racing. Wow, Uniclark trying to find... Leo trying to find a way around our Welshman. But you've got to hold your hat off for Scotty in the red 488 at the minute. He's doing a hell of a job. Delfinio still with a 5.5 second gap over Jasco VR. Look at the drive, he gets out of there. Is he going to make that move? No, Scotty just about covers the line there. Fantastic run.
He's going to make
Looks like
it
Scotty's into
you.
the pit. Into the pit comes Scotty. We did suspect maybe that he needed to pit, and it's going to be travelling through too. Where's Uniclark and all this? So we're going to have to see how many spots that Scotty loses for all this and see where he comes back out. But at the minute, Leo P4 then, and he has a bit of clear track in front of him. In fact, he has a lot of clear track in front of him. It's over 6 seconds to Bruce, who's holding P3 at the minute. Bruce Laws, Pro LMP, is currently in a podium spot, and that is a risky place to be on the curbs there. We know that from before. It is Nicky again on the curb, so really riding his luck at the minute. Scotty is out the pit. Where's Lecky in all this? Is Scotty comfortably in a P10 position. We'll have to wait and see if any of the boys have actually got any pit stops to make. In front, I imagine a lot of them have taken him. Does look like Nicky's feathering the throttle rather, round the outer loop. So Leo pulling a little bit of a gap. We'll go on board with our leader at the minute. Is that Jasco in the background? No, it's not. It is Grey Warrior, but then it does look like that's Jasco. There we go. So the sun's setting here, ladies and gentlemen, at what is round 9 of the Watkins Glen International Circuit, just based outside of New York. This 3.4 mile track has been taken on tonight by our Pro GT3 drivers, and Delfinio into the wall. That is not going to help his timings at the minute. 4.5 seconds separates him and Jasco VR. Does Jasco manage to get round with Grey Warrior? On board. Yeah, he does. He's past him. Good driving there, Grey Warrior. Thank you for letting the leaders through. On board. Yeah, you could just about make out Delfinio in front, so Jasco making up some time at the minute. That'll be interesting to watch. What's Disco up to?
He was an entire 1.5 seconds faster that last lap, so
yeah,
maybe the signs of some interesting stuff to go down in the final few laps of this race.
Maybe Jasco just conserving his tyres for the end, and it looks like Nick is now into the pit, so Uniclark going to move up and have that P6 position. Every point counts at the minute. Where's Uber in all this? He's going to have it too. Disco closely followed behind. Nicky only just into his good spot now, so Disco through too. Nicky from P4, P5, P6 into P9 at the minute. Where's Scotty in all this? They were pretty close on track. Look on the right hand side, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can spot Nicky go. There he is. Scotty's on it on track. P9. Back with Disco. Uber still struggling through that bit of track, and it looks like Jasko's pulled another half a second. And again, just as you were saying, Champ, he's pulled a full second out, well, nearly a second and a half out on that lap alone. So Jasko VR with a lot of pace in him at the minute. But again, another element thrown in is the sun is going down. We started this race at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, peak time, the track at its best, really weathered and rubbered in from the sprint race that we had earlier on. The track was at its finest, but now the sun's going away, that temperature's coming down, the headlights are having to come on here, ladies and gentlemen, the grip is declining, these rear end monsters really struggling to put the hammer down. We're going to see a few mistakes. How are we going to see a few positions swapped during the end of this race at the minute? Jasko again, look at the gap, it's now 3 seconds, that is really coming down. Nicky onto the back of Scotty as well. Quick look at what them boys are up to. Very close to one another. Yeah, the headlights are definitely on here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for joining us on the YouTube channel. Can't thank everybody enough for all the support that we've been getting here at Watkins Racing. A massive shout out to all the members of staff that make the wheels go around in the background. They don't get enough credit. A massive shout out to Luke Bennett, who was in the esports race today. I believe he was about P6, but massive shout out to him. Also, massive shout out to Champa we've got in the box tonight for his title on the LMP1 League. And a massive congratulations to K Moss being the first GT4 Ginetta champion too. So massive congrats to those boys who have really earned their stripes this season, Season 2. We have another round coming up for the majority of the leagues, which is next week. We'll go off into a little break with some announcements on Season 3. Look at this. Scotty and Nicky are going to argue over P9. They're both inside of a top 10 spot with Nicky a further 10 seconds behind them, so they look relatively comfortable. But at the minute, lap 20 over 24 lap racing. Scotty pushed out wide again. Looks like Nick has studied that one a little bit more. He stayed off the curbs there as well. He pulls out the draft coming up the back straight into the bus stop. It's Ferrari versus Audi, and the Audi goes back into the draft again. So just a quick look. We'll have a look at Jasko on a bonnet cam, and we'll see if we can make out the flying Czech driver in front. So on board with Jasko in cockpit view. There he is. You see the brake lights coming on. That's the gap, ladies and gentlemen, on lap 21. With 3 racing laps to go, it is down to 3 seconds. It's actually at 3.5. A little better lap last time round by Daffini. Now that's encouraging for him. You know, to keep it in front of Jasko at any time is encouraging for any driver. But now you can really get a feel for the track temperature dying down, the sun going, all the lights turning on now. The drivers have got so much to concentrate on. They started with the maximum amount of grip. We're on 20 odd laps now. These drivers have really put in a shift. At a minute 40 odd a lap, and 21 laps down, it's really a game of nutrition at this point. And they're still concentrating, these boys, as the cameraman takes a day off. The concentration levels of these guys to hold on for this long is absolutely fantastic, and they've drove relatively well. They've marshalled themselves tonight. They've made sure any mistakes have been repaired. You know, they really have drove with honour throughout the field. They should be very happy with that. That gap again for Jasko is coming down, but again Daffino still managing to match Jasko VR, and that is no easy feat whatsoever. Bruce again though, holding on to the last podium spot of the night. That'd be absolutely fantastic if he can keep hold of that last podium spot. Still a bit unsure if he needs to take a pit stop, but as it stands, Bruce has that final spot of the night. Cockpit view now. He's out the draft. It's 488 versus the Audi. Again, these boys giving us a show into the bus stop. And again, it's the Audi that has to think better of it. You've been the car behind, really responsible for not making the contact there. You need to be extra sure that you're giving the room to the car in front, even giving the room for you to have an accident, essentially. But for all intents and purposes, that like, ooh, cars catching on front, is that a back marker? It is indeed. So Kembo suffering a little bit. He did start P1 for this race. He's got a couple of the fast guys coming up from P9 and P10. Not quite on his case yet. We'll see a yellow flag. Fastest sector 2 time, Jasko VR, 33 seconds. Fastest lap at a 42.9. I believe it was like a 41 last time in the sprint, but keep an eye on that. But Kembo, very experienced racer, he'll know when these boys are coming up onto the back of him. Jasko 2 seconds behind now. That gap is coming down. We're going to have an awesome finish to this race. It's going to be everything we'd hoped for. Again, Jasko, Dafinio, Nicky gets into the wall. Jasko, Dafinio, all from the back of the field. Reverse grid race again for the feature. We do have a mandatory 20-minute sprint at the start, followed by the feature, double the laps, reverse grid. So all the fast guys you're seeing right there, and Ken's coming way out the way for the boys there. He's going to let them up on the start-finish. Good driving by a man from Pennsylvania. Not easy being at the back of the grid, but still a pleasure to have him out on track. One of the moderators here at Lubbins Racing, also a Lee Coast, a very busy chappie. And then you've got the time difference as well. He's miles behind up there, daft o'clock in the morning, so major commitment for our man from Pennsylvania. Fantastic to see him still out on track. What's Disco up to? We've got him coming up on the timings. He's closing Uniclark down. Again, Uniclark was our pick from champ there to be pulling away, but these tricky conditions proving to be a bit of a nightmare. Jasko now within 2 seconds of Dafinio. Again, when we checked these boys out last time, Dafinio was just about coming around this corner, and Jasko's starting to fast set quick laps. Lap 23, ladies and gentlemen, of lap 24, and that's not going to help his case at all, being that wide. Quick look at what Disco is up to. He's catching up with Uniclark, but will there be enough time in it? Nicky and Scotty inseparable from the sprint to the feature, giving us a hell of a show. Respected one another throughout the race. It's good to see they're giving each other the room. Back with Disco though. Bit of a concertina effect. Uniclark doing a hell of a job there. It is nice to be back in the commentary box. I've got a bit of a crazy life at the minute. Not able to get on as much as I would like. It's a bit of a discredit to all the regular GT3. Go on.
Yeah, Jasko's been given a penalty. A 1 second penalty for Jasko.
1 second, yeah. Leonardo, though, with a 10-second penalty there, and that will see him, if it remains the same, drop to P5. Travon will take up P4 if he doesn't manage to pull over 10 seconds to Travon. Something to keep an eye on. Is NRP very... I was just about to say, is NRP...
Jasko's been given another penalty for track limits.
This
so
does
any
like...
sort of exciting finish we would have had pretty much gone out the window.
It does look that way, definitely, but I mean... I've seen these racing before between these boys, and believe me, it's not over until they come across this line. Both of them could make a mistake, and we're watching them go side by side up the S's now. We're seeing Nicky and Scotty give us a show. Scotty suffered all day long coming out the exit up the top of here, so I think Nicky's going to have the run. Where's Disco up to? Sorry, guys. Just round the... Yeah, all LED lights back on. It's definitely the weather for it. And Scotty now, is he got... Yeah, Nicky's definitely pulled away, so he's lost a bit of ground to him there. Disco with the possibility of getting P6 after his pit stop, which I believe his pit crew actually messed up and has ordered him to come in again. So we'll see how this one unfolds. But a bit of his front left tyre, it would seem, on Disco's car is taking the battery. You can see the moon there in the background. Fantastic shot. But we want to go back on board with Dafinio. Where's he coming up on the bus stop? And I believe this is the last lap of the race. And again, just a quick look. Can he keep it tidy? That's all he's got to do. 4 seconds, the penalty to Jasko VR. Comfortably got second, but it's going to be our Czech driver from Olomouc going to pay it to P1 as long as he can keep it pointing in the right direction. This race is not over. You'd be a fool to think this race was over by any means before they get to the start finish. We've seen last lap incidents. We've seen... And somebody in the background there, I think they're getting it wrong. But we have seen guys in first place make the mistakes, and it's allowed others to come through. But at the minute, Dafinio, one of our own there, is giving us such a race so far. Our Trek driver from Olomouc, currently P3 in the standings. He is 86 points ahead of Andy FC, of course, isn't here tonight, so he's really going to extend that championship lead there. But what a race he's been having so far, and we'll take a look on board with Jasko's, also at the same bit of track, but back with Justinio, and I believe this is the last lap, so sorry if we're going to call it wrong, but he's about to come across the last corner here, and our Czech driver from Olomouc is going to take home a very, very well-deserved victory. Is it the last lap? I believe it is. Is it? Nope, you're right, there is one more lap. I got ahead of myself there, it's still not over. I apologise to everyone watching. 25 laps, we're on the last lap now. Jasko is behind. We'll go cockpit cam with him. A little sideways through the 90s. But again, Jasko VR with 4 second penalty. So he's really going to need Dafinio to make a big, big mistake. And Dafinio's looked bulletproof so far. So it'd be fantastic to watch him get his first win here. I believe it would be Dafinio's first win. I'm not too sure. Don't call me on that one, but it will be one of the few. He's always had the pace, that Czech driver from Olomouc. But that Lambo's looks so hairy on the back end. It's always kicking out. as you can see him making a lot of corrections coming around the corner. But again, thank you on the YouTube channel for joining us. Absolutely been enjoyable from start to finish. Again, apologies, I'd love to go on a lot more and do the commentating. A full-time carer, a full-time father. It's an absolute bloody nightmare at the minute, but I'd have it no other way. As we're watching Jasko VR, our points leader, chase down our Czech driver from Olomouc, who's got this one in the bag, barring no incidents. Fantastic racing from Definio to keep someone like Jasko VR in the sights. Looks like Jasko does have the pace. Last time around though, bad lap here, 147, but we knew there was a time penalty there too. So, coming up onto the final sector here, out the arse end of the heel. And it's going to be Definio, barring any mistakes coming out this last couple of corners, who's going to take home the feature race, blue race ribbon of the night. This is the one the driver has won into the bag. There's no more points on offer, and Definio's going to bring it home. P1, baby, P1. Well done, Definio. Well done. Jasko VR very close behind P2. Time penalty, of course, is going to stretch out that a little bit more. Is Bruce going to bring it home in a podium spot? This is a worthy get off your feet, put your hands together occasion. Bruce Law, ladies and gentlemen, coming round the last corner for tonight for round 9. He's going to take home a podium spot in the M6. Fantastic job, Bruce. Fantastic job. Hell of a drive. Where's Leo in all this? He's going to bring it home P4. Minus. Yeah, he dropped a lot of time to Traven, so that 10-second penalty is not going to bother him too much. Traven should be very happy with his result tonight. As a new driver to the league, it's not easy to keep up with these pros that have been here all season long. P5 for Traven, I believe. He is across the line.
Really impressed me.
Been unbelievable, he really has. And Yuri Clark, our British driver from Swindon, had a tough one tonight. P6, still good driver. Disco, his pit crew needs sacking across the line. P7 from our Scottish driver. Ubar, the Flying Dutchman, keeping up the top 10 positions. Our Dutch driver from Dreef, LMP1 Lee Coast. P8, buddy, P8. Nicky now, just navigating the final couple of corners. Our Silverstone based man, really new to the league, top 10 position, should be very happy with that. P9 for Nicky, well done my buddy, well done. Where's Scotty in all this? Just brings it home now. He looks like he's been suffering with setup on that 4.8 all night long, but the rain man himself, the man from Swansea, brings it home, top 10 baby, well done. Where's Lecky in all this? Bringing it home, P11. Should be very proud of the achievement this night. He's a pro touring car driver and he brings it home, P11. I want to thank you, every driver, for coming out tonight and supporting us. A massive congratulations to Definio. Well done, buddy. Jasko brings it home, P2. Bruce with a very impressive P3. Again, check out the Discord channel. We've got league racing throughout the week. It's all totally free. I want to thank Champ for joining me tonight. I know you didn't get a word in Edgeworth, buddy, but we really appreciate you joining us here at Robbins Racing. The boys really give us a show. Any final thoughts, Champ, before we get going, buddy?
It was very interesting down to the end with Jasko's penalties. He was really right up against Definio at the end. If he didn't get those penalties, I think he may have had a chance at possibly winning.
What a finish we were in for there without the time penalties. But again, what a race to come and dip your feet into there though, Champ. We had some action throughout the field, and I'd just like to thank again everyone on the YouTube channel, Champ, for joining us. Come and join the Discord, the link's in the description, absolutely free. Again, congratulations to Definio, well driven buddy. Jasko, Bruce, hell of a job. We will catch you next week at the Robbins Racing final round in Hockenheim. From me, from everyone's at Robbins Racing, peace.